What up? What up?
Ooh, what up, though?
Oh man,
Let's go.
it's been a good week, man. A lot of shit going on.
Yeah, it's been an eventful week for sure.
Yeah. Everything from people getting freed up to possible nuclear wars.
Yeah, bro,
Dude, there's some shit going on.
there really is, bro. Every time I turn on the news, I see something like, I don't want to know about that.
Yep. Be real selective.
Let me be ignorant right now.
Bro, is it better to know that some imminent danger is coming, or you just be outside picking cherries and just get eaten by a lion?
Nah, bro.
Like you don't even see it coming.
Nah, bro. I'd rather not know.
Yeah,
I'd
I think
be
so
minding
too,
my
bro.
business and the nuke hit and it's over.
Right.
Just let me be ignorant.
I don't want to hear sirens or
nope.
nothing. I want to see like a big flash and go, oh shit.
Yeah.
I guess I'm fucked.
It's rap. Like the anticipation of waiting for something like that.
Yeah, dude.
Sounds like it sucks, bro.
Dude, there's people that they say like, like go see this person, and this person can like predict when you're gonna die, sort of like based on your habits or whatever.
Fuck
I'm
that.
like, who's doing that?
Do you
bro?
see Dana White did that shit?
No.
And he,
okay, I heard somebody did. What
He
is
did
that?
it.
Is that why he got in shape
and
recently?
he got all in shape recently because the guy basically told him he had a decade. Almost
Oh,
to
wow.
like, he said you have 10 years if you keep living your life the way you're living your life. And he broke it down about why and his habits and
Yep.
blah, blah, blah. And I guess it's pretty damn accurate.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe in that case you do if you can do something about it.
Yeah, man. Especially if you got, if you got something to live for, right? Like you're not just.
Yeah, if you're Dana White.
Yeah, right.
If you're a homeless guy, you're like, that long?
Yeah, you'd be like, what happens if I double up?
How do we accelerate this shit?
Damn it, I ain't got that kind of money.
I got that. You suffer from depression. You're like 10 more. Oh man, we're going out.
Yo, welcome back everybody to the Carpet Footprint Podcast, episode 119. He is Juan and I'm Sean, and every week we get together, have a few drinks, talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. And this shit today, Juan be on his shit. Hit him with it.
Listen, man, we did this. I love me some old fashions in
dude,
every
you make 'em
way,
good,
shape,
bro.
or form, bro. I have spent an uncomfortable amount of hours trying to perfect old fashions.
It looks so easy, and then when I go home, I'm like, it don't taste. It don't taste.
You know what? When I first started doing them, I felt like that too because I would
Yeah.
watch bartenders make it, and I go, "There's 2 ingredients, like basically, like 3," and it would piss me off.
And you be fucking splashing liquor and bitters elsewhere, and I'm just like, that one ain't gonna be right. And then I taste it, I'm like, God damn it.
So we did this. Yeah, Sean broke me off with this delicious ass bottle called Adictivo whiskey, which is it's a tequila company that released their own whiskey and they aged it in tequila barrels. And this thing was amazing. Like, it is amazing by itself. So I was trying to think of a way, because I love old fashions. I'm like, man, there's got to be a way to do it. So I went, all right, tequila, let's make an old fashioned, and I'm just going to replace the ingredients with like tequila or like Mexican inspired ingredients. So instead of simple syrup, we did agave. So the way the recipe works, it's a half an ounce of agave syrup. I did 2 ounces of the Adictivo whiskey. I did orange bitters. I did Peychaud's bitters, so like 3 dashes. And then that was it, man. And I stirred it up.
The cherry.
And then the cherry to garnish at the end, man.
Yep.
And so stirred it up, poured in a glass with a big ball of ice or a cube or whatever, preferably. And that's it, man. And we garnished with a cherry and a slice of orange or orange peel, actually. And the orange peel does make a difference.
You know what? I'm just thinking, I wonder if a small slice of orange, just like soaking
orange
in there. Yeah.
Tastes good, man. We got to do that for
We
next
could
time.
do that, yeah.
I used to actually take the orange, the small oranges.
Yep.
And I used to muddle them and then leave them at the bottom of my
Ooh,
old fashions.
okay, yeah,
it's actually
yeah.
good. I have to make one of those for the pod one time, man. Like, that's actually really good. So I muddle the cherry and the orange.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
actual
yeah.
mix. And I think instead of doing simple syrup, I do that. And it comes
And
out good.
then the cherries that you're using are those like dark cherries.
The dark
What are-
cherries.
What is
What's
those
it?
things?
The Bada Bing cherries.
It's the Bada Bing cherries, that's
Bada Bing cherries. So yeah, they're good. They're dark. I think some of them you can even do Woodford Reserve does these aged barrel cherries too that they make.
Oh, I haven't
They're
seen those.
Great too, man. Yeah, but they're like $15 for a jar of cherries.
Dude, them
But
Bada
good.
Bings is like 10.
Yeah, you're right. Dude, everything now is like I think you were mentioning this
The
last
cranberry
week.
juice
Man,
last
oh my
week was
God.
$12.
I went to the store. I forgot what I was buying, but it was something really simple, and it was like $8, and it was something that I'm used to paying like $4 or $5 for, and I was like, damn, dude.
Yeah, it's
like,
crazy, man. Inflation is here, bro.
Shit, man. It's got us all.
All right, man. My carbon footprint of the week is going out to Mr. President Joe Biden.
Okay. Too bad he won't remember you giving me this. It's a prestigious reward.
Sean who? Who the fuck is that guy? You don't fuck with a Biden.
Fuck with a Biden. I was literally about to say.
For those of y'all that don't know about that, Biden came down here to Florida, right? It was after the hurricanes and met up with like a mayor of one of these one of the
Like
towns,
Fort Myers or
area,
right? Yeah.
And all I know is that in the greeting, he had a hot mic, and he tells the guy, "Nobody fucks with a Biden," and the guy was like,
is the guy
"Goddamn
a
right."
Biden? Is that what it is?
I don't believe so.
It's
I guess they
weird.
just know.
Maybe yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know what happened before.
Maybe he
that,
thought it was his son.
That'd be funny. The guy was like, "Yeah, Dad." So listen. So Biden, I'm sure, as most of you have probably heard by now, he is freeing thousands of people that have been charged with simple possession of marijuana. So federally charged.
Okay.
So people that are in jail right now that have been federally charged with simple possession of marijuana. So this does not include anybody that was, selling, had enough with the sort of like the intent to distribute. I think that's it. Yeah, selling or distribution. So those folks, that's still illegal.
So not selling or distributing, just possession.
If it's just simple possession, I think it matters how much you had on you.
Okay. It has to be like a misdemeanor amount or what, or the amount that you're not intending to sell. I guess.
Well, what's funny, man, that I didn't know this was that federally marijuana is classified as a Schedule I drug, which is in the same sort of playing field as heroin and LSD.
Federally, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that's one of the things that kind of goes along with this. So he's freeing these prisoners. And he's also asking the Attorney General to go look at how marijuana is classed.
So this is the Brittany Griner law? Is that what we're calling it?
I didn't even think about that. I forgot about her. Thought she was dead.
Thought she was dead. Nope, she got time. You give her a little bit. I think she's there. The Freedom the Griner Act.
That's funny, man. Yeah, right. Like,
it
has to be part of that
response.
Well, that's the other thing where I go like, he's doing this now with a few months left to the midterms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They need a W bad, though.
Yes.
They need a W bad. Yeah.
So was this a reach? Because remember, back in the 90s, he was instrumental in passing laws that like mass incarcerated a lot of black people.
Oh yeah, he don't remember that though. Like, who would do such a thing?
Who's this Joe guy?
Who's this Joe guy? I'm not gonna fuck with him because he's a Biden, but
was that my dad?
Be like, yeah, Joe, you're Joe Jr. It has to be a response to that, and like you said, I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's the Griner thing. It's a political move through and through, but it's like it's the Griner thing. It's the midterm thing. It's they need a dub bad because they've looked awful. Gas prices are slated to rise next month.
Well, you see now because OPEC
is cutting production.
Yeah.
So you go, and I know we're currently in talks with Venezuela. So we're like, all right, what dictatorship is ready to play ball? So we're in talks with Venezuela, which will to produce oil and stuff for us to try to combat that.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show, like, we don't give a fuck what you do, man. We're like, who got the oil?
Right.
Like that. And then Venezuela better be super careful about this, because the last thing you want is us invading Venezuela. Like, you cut oil production up.
They'd be like,
we will do it.
They'd be like, he's mass killing people. We got to go down there.
We got to go down there. Yeah. Next thing you know, they got weapons of mass destruction. All kinds of shit. But yeah, man.
So yeah, man, with this one, it wasn't necessarily for him, my carbon footprint, but it was like the lives that he's gonna affect by allowing these folks to go.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying everybody's gonna be like some stellar citizen. However, simple possession means a little. It's a little bit.
Yeah, but I think in the spirit of the show and the carbon footprint thing, like you said, it's going to impact, good or bad.
Right.
It's going to have a massive impact on people. Like you said, there's people who are going to do good and make good with this new sort of lease on life and this new opportunity. There's people who are not. And either way, it's sort of setting the foundation for this thing is the one that caused it, right?
Yep.
So
that's right.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man, what you got?
Listen, man, talk about seizing opportunity. And
I'm afraid.
Listen, I'm giving my carbon footprint out to a guy who is living the American dream this week, and it is the former head coach to the Carolina Panthers, Matt Rule, got fired yesterday. Yeah. He got a 7-year contract.
How much is that guaranteed?
$60 million.
Right.
So he's getting paid $42 million the rest of his contract to not coach the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, bro.
You know, I'd not coach the Carolina Panthers for free. Dude, you get $42 million to not coach the shitty franchise like the Carolina Panthers. That's the American dream,
bro.
It's the American dream. What does this guy do?
Yeah, he won the lotto.
He won the lotto.
He literally won the lotto.
Yeah, you got the
coach. He
has
to do nothing for
nothing, bro. And now he can go back to college and get a fat contract because now his stock is high.
Oh, absolutely. And there's a few teams out there that need him.
There's a few teams out there that would need him.
Oklahoma. Sorry, I didn't say that out loud.
Fuck you, Sooners. For those that don't know, I'm a Longhorns fan, so it's fuck Oklahoma all day. But, bro, I saw that yesterday and I go, what a win. Like, for that guy, bro. That's his greatest win in his NFL career, was getting fired by the Carolina Panthers. And it will leave, no doubt, an imprint on his life because this dude gets
that's generational money for doing nothing.
To not coach the Carolina Panthers. They basically paid him $42 million, I think is the remaining amount, to go away.
So they paid out his entire contract, bro?
Yeah, I think coaching contracts are guaranteed unless they fire you with cause, which, like, I think it can't be like performance based on the team. I think it has to be like, that's why they always try to catch these coaches like a Gruden. They try to catch some dirt on them because that's the cleanest out. And even Gruden still got paid out. I think they settled on whatever they were going to pay him out. But, guaranteed full. So he gets $42 million. He was in year 3 of a 7-year deal. And he gets the rest of that paid out.
God, wow,
now, I think
bro.
what I have to look at is some of these coaches, what happens is if they do take another job, it's sort of, I don't know if the payment goes down or they stop, or I think it changes. I'm not sure, but.
And then
42.
And then obviously it would depend on the type of person that you are. But a lot of people would just go, oh, okay, I just won't coach.
Yeah, go take a TV job. I don't think that counts. So.
Or just don't work.
Just don't work. Yeah, go. Yeah, he's a young guy, but yeah, still, I don't know what his off plans look like.
That's the thing, like guys like that, like them alpha males, man. We they
type
don't,
A's, like
they have to work, bro.
Yeah, he has to. So you go, I don't know, maybe he takes a year off, maybe 2, and then you said goes back. Maybe he waits till next season and Oklahoma picks him up or whoever. Like, but fucking A, man, I'm like, good for you, bro. Wow, generational money. You just set the course of the rest of your family forever to not do something that's probably sucked anyway, which is coaching the Carolina Panthers.
So he did 3 years.
He did, yeah. He was in year 3, so he did 2 full seasons, and he only 5 games into year 3.
How do you give somebody a 7-year contract? Like, to me, when you give somebody 7 years, especially a coach, you're not only hoping that he has success, but you're also going, it's going to take time.
Dude, you're right. And so
I could see maybe in year 5.
And a guy who had no NFL experience, which is also odd.
Where was he from?
He came out of, I want to say Baylor, but that's wrong. But he was college. Yeah. So I can't remember where. I can't remember where.
Matter.
But he was a college coach, and he gets pulled to do that. I'm like, I don't know how, like you said, you give a 7-year deal to a college coach. Like that's.
But even so, again, given the longevity of the contract,
you're telling him it takes you a while.
Yeah, like you're going, this is not going to turn around in 3 years.
So what do you think happened there? Like, do you think that's players complaining, maybe GMs, maybe difficult to work with? Maybe they're like, you don't need time. You're just not it.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
that could be it too, right? It's like when you know,
mm-hmm.
you know.
Urban Meyer.
Oh my God, yeah! But what a blessing that was.
We called that shit on here like before he'd even coached the game. Like, that's not gonna work out.
Well, the time that I think when he kicked the kicker, I was like, yeah, bro, you're not gonna last.
It was a demonstration.
He kicked
the kicker.
Come here, boy. Let me show you how to do this.
then he was busy getting handsy at bars and shit.
Yep.
He was like, yeah, something about him just told me like, yeah, you're not gonna work in the NFL, bro. I think that guy was such a superstar in his own right in college, obviously, that you just knew like you can't humble yourself to the NFL game. Like, same thing with Nick Saban, man. It didn't work. He couldn't humble himself to the NFL game.
True.
But Nick Saban, I think, was self-aware enough to sort of like,
he's like,
step
okay,
out
I'm
on
good.
his own. I'm good. Yeah. Like I tried it. I'm good. And then Urban Meyer just the arrogance there. Like it doesn't strike me like he's very self-aware
dude.
like
But
that.
what a blessing for like Lawrence, which I mean, I think they lost yesterday, right?
Yeah,
to Houston, but he's looking.
He looks like an NFL quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah. Like he looks like you go, I don't know if you're going to be a championship guy or your thing, but you're an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
Like you got a career ahead of you. You got a 10-year, 15-year career, whatever ahead of you.
Yeah, I watched him the last couple of
Coaching,
games.
bro. Coaching.
Yeah. I watched him the last couple of games, man, and I'm going like, oh, shit, it looks like the game has slowed down to him.
Yep.
Like, I even watched some of the Bears game this weekend, and, man, I'm about to denounce him. But, bro, I went back like like from the time that I was a Bears fan, which is like say like 83, right? And I don't remember what the numbers were, but I was like, wow, man, I have been disappointed the majority of my life.
Same, bro. Same.
And I don't know why I keep doing that to myself.
Do you have a Super Bowl though that you cheered on and you've watched them win?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even have that, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, cheered them on the two that they were in.
Two that they were. Okay.
They won the first one, lost the second.
I got one that they were in. It was a disappointing finish.
But still, man, I was just like, man, I've just been disappointed because I could look at some other teams that just have good franchises. Forget about Super Bowl wins. Like you get like the Patriots is like an outlier that may never happen again.
Yeah.
But you have, I don't know, you have other teams out there that say like the Packers, which I hate. But bro, they've been good since the 90s.
Yeah, they have a tradition. Like it's expected that they win.
But before Brett Favre, they call him the Magic Man. I think the thing was like, I don't remember.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
but before that, bro, they were horrible. Like in the 80s, they were bad, bro. And then in the 90s, they got the Magic Man, and then he ends up getting hurt. Brett Favre comes in and then has his run. And then gets replaced with Aaron Rodgers, who is still there. I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, and then they win a bunch of Super Bowls. They went to some, right? They won two with both one
each. Yeah,
one of each.
But Favre lost one, right, to Elway.
Yes.
So Favre at least went to another one. Yeah.
Well, he went. No, his first one they won.
And then he lost his
second.
second.
He lost to
Aaron Rodgers has lost 2 Super Bowls, right?
He
lost one to the Steelers. He's won one. I think he's lost one as well. So Aaron Rodgers has been the 2.
He's definitely lost one.
I think did he lose to the Steelers or did the Steelers the one that he beat? I can't remember. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but yeah, you said just tradition.
I try to forget that shit.
They have a tradition, like a winning culture.
Yeah.
Historically,
so you go
for the last 3 decades.
Yeah, right. So the last almost 30 years, these guys. If you were a Packer fan, yeah, maybe you got heartbreak in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl, but you've had a good team, something that you can root for 30 years.
Dude, do you think that's like, so obviously like our theme here is like always like carbon footprint. Do you think that's like an imprint left on by ownership, right? Like, because I think we were talking about this off air last week where I was mentioning like the Titans have always had great running backs for whatever reason, no matter what coach is there, no matter the rest of the personnel, they're just known for having great running backs. And in the Bears, I think it was like linebackers. You said they always have great linebackers. Like, there's like an imprint to these teams that you go, it carries forward for decades sometimes, no matter who's in charge, no matter who's on the team, no matter, like, it's like they gravitate to
ownership,
this.
bro.
It has to be, right? Like, it's ownership, it's like culture, it's like mindset, like I guess set from above.
Right.
And then, because the Bears have had the same ownership, right, for
like, I mean, the woman, McCaskey, I mean, she's in her 90s.
And she's been the owner for, but it's like somebody has to run it day to day, right? Like, it's not... It's just odd to me. Right. Like, I'm like, what?
I mean,
then
they have
culture.
They have her, you know, like the family is the owners, right?
Or do you think that's like a brand identity thing? That like if you go and you get hired by the Bears and you're a GM and you're maybe like a VP of operations or whoever she's hired to run.
Low expectations.
Yeah. The branding is low. But do you go with the Bears? We have to have this.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know what that is. Like, it's like,
Yeah, I don't know,
It's like
man.
if you own a car brand, right? And you get a I don't know, you're in charge of the Corvette, right? Like, you go, the Corvette has to be a coupe, and it has to have the pointy front, and it has to, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Like, I go, is that just something that's imprinted in the DNA of this thing? Like, you know, in this case, a team. Like, I don't know what that is, man. But
Yeah, dude.
if you think about every team ever, it's like their DNA very rarely changes, and then when it does, it actually works out. Like, I look at the Rams. The Rams used to be sort of known as a hard-hitting bubble, and then they became like greatest show on turf. Then they just became trash, and then now they're like sort of great offense again, and that's what's sort of gotten them here with a great defense. But like, there's these teams are sort of like outliers. Like Tampa Bay, like, yes, they have Tom Brady. They've always been known for great defenses. Those Super Bowl teams have always been known for great defenses, and the one that they just won was a great defense, man. I mean,
Oh my gosh,
yes,
yeah,
it's
bro.
Tom Brady, but that defense really won them
Yeah.
that Super Bowl. So like, it's weird to me, man, that like no matter, like you said, like it's like 3-4 decades that you get of these teams, and they're the exact same thing. Like, I don't know what that is. Like,
Yeah,
it's-
again, I don't know if it's ownership, but it's got to come from the top down, man. Dude, any organization that you go to that has good leadership, man, it always trickles down to everybody, bro.
Yeah, I go like, is it that? And then like, it has to be that, and it has to be a brand identity where if you get hired there, you go, I'm not going to be the guy that changes that. Like, it takes like a trailblazer type person to go, yeah,
Right.
we're, like, can you imagine a guy walking into the Bears organization and going like, yeah, we run no huddle offense now. We do this, we do that, we do that. People there be like, I
Yeah,
don't know, man. Do you have a linebacker? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they'd be like, you have a hard hitting like it almost like, I wonder if it's like you need like a risk taker. You need someone who's not afraid to sort of change cultures and identities.
That's funny
and
that you
that
say
goes
that, though,
for
bro.
everything, man. Like, if you
Yeah.
get hired at Disney and you go, I want to put on an R-rated show on Disney Plus, like, it takes balls to do that because it goes against the brand. You know what? Like,
Right.
like, it's the same thing. I'm like,
Are
it's
there
a sports
none?
franchise? Ooh.
I don't know.
There
That's
probably
funny,
is now,
man.
right?
No,
Like,
maybe
Deadpool
not,
was a
bro.
big thing, right? Like, people went,
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
they own Deadpool now.
Yeah,
What
but
do you
is
do
it
with
on there? Is it on Disney Plus?
I'm not sure, but he's getting a third movie, and so
Yeah.
now I'm going, do they let him do the R-rated thing with third movie, or do they go, you got to make it PG-13 so that it appeals to a wider audience because we're Disney and that's what we do? You know
Yeah,
what
but
I mean?
Disney
Like,
doesn't Disney own Miramax?
yeah, I
So
think
they'll
so.
put it on the Miramax.
I wonder, but now
they-
it's
but they do the
MCU,
arm,
right?
right,
Like, and it's,
right,
so
that's
I'm saying, so I
right,
wonder, but maybe they will. Like, right, maybe they will. But I go, it takes someone at Disney now to go, who's going to be the guy who goes, yo, I got an idea and it's R-rated.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if it's that. It's just like this brand identity thing that people just go, I'm just going to stick to what fucking works. I'm not going to ruffle any feathers here because if it doesn't work, I'm screwed. You know what I, like, it's just one of
Yeah,
these
man.
things where, I don't know, man.
I mean, you know, the speaking of like brand stuff, man, it's like who's the freaking coach for the Celtics?
oh, Ume,
That
Udoku.
Udoka.
I don't know how to say it.
Udoka. Yeah, that's got to be it. All right. You know, was he fired because he didn't meet brand standards? And it's not. It wasn't for winning. He wasn't fired. He was suspended for a
Suspended
year.
for the year, yeah.
That's a long time.
But
Bro.
they say his future status is up in the air.
See.
So
So then the guy takes him to the finals. Mm-hmm. And then
first year as a head coach.
right? And then by the way, the GM, the now GM, was the coach, couldn't do it.
Yeah.
They bring him in, does it the first year. He doesn't win, but he's going against the Warriors too. This is like the Bulls in the 90s,
Yeah, it's
right?
it's a dynasty of this generation right now.
Absolutely. So, and he's not even married to Nia Long, is he?
Ooh, I think he is maybe.
Let's check
I'm
that
not
out,
sure.
bro. I don't think he's married to her, bro.
So that's just his girlfriend or fiance.
Oh, fiance. I think it's
I
his
think you're right. I
fiance.
think it is fiance. Yeah, I think it's right.
So, and I know it was essentially it's like fraternization, right? It's sort of like the charge against him
Is
from a company standpoint,
he was having an affair with a team staffer.
right? Somebody lower than him,
Correct.
right? In the pecking order.
Yeah. So I don't think it's that, man. Like, I think he gets suspended because sports seems I think in this environment we're in right now with like the Me Too stuff. I think with the like the Dallas Mavericks just had to like pay this fine, and it had that thing about like workplace culture and women complaining about like sexual harassment things. I think it was the Dallas Mavericks.
No, was it?
Yeah, and I think you know, you talk about like the stuff that came out last year with John Gruden. I think this is the sports teams protecting themselves against like something later on going like, hey, we have a zero tolerance policy. Like yeah, he had an affair consensual with this staffer. But if that goes south and she decides to say, oh, he was a man in power, he's in a position, and he came on to me, and now I felt obligated because I'm a 34-year-old who just does travel bookings or whatever she did for the team. Right. Like, I don't say no to the head coach.
She was NBA, WNBA, wasn't she?
Ooh, I don't know. I know she was like a team travel staffer. Oh, I know who you're talking about. No, it's not her. The one that was supposedly like some team thing who was a former WNBA player. Yeah. No, it's come out since it's a different girl. Oh, and she was like a travel coordinator for the team. So she was in charge of booking his travel, sometimes Nia Long's travel, evidently. And so
of course she was.
Yeah, and she's like a 34-year-old low-level employee in comparison to him.
Yeah, of course.
And so I think the fear there is that, hey, if that goes south, right, they break up, whatever happens, and she goes, he came on to me, I felt obligated, blah, 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 and she sues the team. Like, I think that's...
You can do that, bro?
Yeah, I think this is more on that because they're going to say he used his position of influence. I don't think that it's fair, right? Because I think that...
But I'm saying so he's not... While he works for the team, how is the team, we'll call the team a company in this case, how is the company responsible for one individual employee's actions essentially outside of work?
Because I think what happens is that if she says he came on to me at work and now I felt obligated because he's my superior at work, he's not my superior outside of work, right? And I have to give him the time of day, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't necessarily agree with it because they're two consenting adults, right? So they decided to do that. Like, that's their prerogative, their business. Like, I could care less. But I think what's happening is these teams is like, it's like an overcorrection to all the shit that's been going on where they just go, we have to show force that we're zero tolerance or we're not standing for this. Like, yep, we're suspending you for the year. And I think it's just a way to show if she comes out later on and says, well, I actually didn't want this. They go, look, we suspended him immediately when we found out about it because there's a no fraternization rule. There's a no thing. I think it's more that. I don't think they give a shit about him cheating because, dude, the NBA has shown these players mostly cheat and they have people on staff to fix that. And you know what I mean? Like to get the disgruntled, thoughts that show up at the hotel rooms at night and book the abortions and do all that shit. Like, they have people on staff that handle that for these teams.
Not anymore.
Bro, they have a concierge that handles that. But, like...
Depends where you're at now.
So, evidently not in Boston. So, dude, with that said, if you're a head coach, if you're an NBA player, and Boston's a free agent destination, seeing that they did this... Does that deter you?
I don't know, man. I mean, I guess I would have to talk to people within the organization, like players, right? If I'm from a player coming in as a player.
And be like, how many side pieces you got?
Yeah. I need at least 3.
And do they care? Yeah, I think I didn't like it. I didn't agree with it. I understood from a corporate perspective and in the environment that we're in now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And all the stuff that's happened to sports teams, I think it's them immediately do the Deshaun Watson thing. I think it's this stuff where we go, all the domestic violence stuff that's happened in other sports. I think the NBA is like just going like, fuck it. And I think it's the Boston Celtics getting ahead of it and going, we're not even going to let the NBA get involved in this. We're going to immediately suspend him for the season. And I think get ahead of any potential lawsuits or whatever, because you just never know. Like, again, this ends badly, and she comes out later on and goes, I actually didn't want to do it.
Yep.
But he's him.
But see, so
I'm me. You know what I mean? Like,
so she could come back potentially and sue, right? If they don't do anything about it. Can Jordan Poole come back and sue for Draymond Green punching him in the face?
If they let him back, I don't see why not.
Right?
Yeah, you put me in an unsafe work environment.
Right.
Dude, in what other profession could you get away with punching someone in the face?
None.
And they didn't suspend him.
None out here anyway.
He took time away.
Yeah, it was his choice.
And they gave him time off, but we're not even in the season right now.
Right. Yeah, so, well, they're preseason right now, right?
Let's talk about this with our friend where we were saying, dude, as much as athletes like to complain about like the scrutiny and blah, 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 we were going, dude, it's such a and I don't want to call it a privilege because maybe that's the wrong word, because you obviously have to work hard, you have to be immensely talented and stuff to get there, but there isn't another profession in the world other than being a pro athlete,
right?
Yeah,
right.
That you get away with something like that and you go back to work the next day,
right?
None of us. You could work at McDonald's, you're not getting away with that. And again, I understand that the money's different, the stakes are higher, whatever you want to call it. There isn't another profession in the world where you could be this. Dude, I mean, does anybody have more fucked up people working in their profession than pro athletes, at least publicly, who go back to work the next day.
Yeah, no.
Like, yeah, I don't know. What'd you think? Like, dude, can you go to work with that guy the next day?
No, of course not.
Right? Like
you said, it's like if you were in a regular job, that person is gone. But it's just that, you know, that double. Here's a double standard working in the other way, right? Where you're going, oh well, it's a, you know, in the first scenario, it's like, well, it's a woman that could come back and make these accusations, but over here, it's like you're an athlete. This type of stuff happens and it's accepted. We don't condone it, but you know, like you guys are big boys. Go work it out.
Boys will be boys.
Yep.
And then you keep it going. Dude, but Jordan Poole comes out, man, I thought I wish that this would happen, but I'd be really curious to see if Jordan Poole comes out and goes, I don't feel safe coming back to work. If you guys don't do something about him, I'm not coming back to play for the team. You need to trade me, or you need to pay me on my contract. Whatever, like, what do you do? Because you got assaulted. Right? Like, you got assaulted at work. So I don't care. And part of me also goes,
press charges, right?
Absolutely. You could press charges. So you go, again, this is the case. This guy can file a lawsuit, and you go, hey, Warriors, what'd you do? Now he goes, I'm going to sue the Warriors. Now, it's career suicide.
Correct.
Right? It's absolutely career suicide. But, again, man, you're setting it. It's this thing where culturally it's accepted. Oh, it's just that. And if you're Draymond, bro, you're not Jordan. You're not dropping 30 a game. You can't get away with punching teammates. But, I guess we'll find out like he can. The other part of me goes, the fact that this is even out, I think the Warriors has something to do with it.
Yeah? I think
the Warriors.
You think it was to kind of put Draymond on blast?
Yeah, I think they want. I think it makes it easier to not sign him to a long-term deal at the end of this year.
Oh, is he
he's
up?
due. And if you're looking at that team and Jordan Poole keeps playing the way he's been playing, and you decide not to re-up on Draymond, you go, we're banking on Jordan Poole and Steph.
Draymond got 4 rings too, right? He's part of that whole dynasty. Yeah, he's part of
that whole dynasty. So you go, all right, we had a run, man. Like, you're talking about a team that was waiting to let Kevin Durant go for Draymond. Do you now go, man, Poole's more valuable? Is he? I don't know. Like,
yeah, I don't know, man.
The fact that something like that got out, just, I don't know, man. Like, the fact that you heard about it and then there was tape. Like, usually you hear about it, but then someone had the tape. Like, the fact that the Warriors didn't immediately go, all right, give me the
all cell phones.
Yep. It's just, I feel like this makes it easier to not sign him to a long-term deal. And I think he's due at the end of the season. So I think I'd be really curious, man. A year from now, episode whatever that is, 155. Stay tuned. No, 160, whatever. we'll re-up.
Oh, man. That's funny, man. Did you see, going back to football, did you see Antonio Brown?
Slinging dick in Dubai? Wait, which one? What part are you talking about?
Sorry.
Sorry.
I was referring to the children's book.
Oh, okay, not that part. I was talking about.
But Antonio Brown been on like a little tear lately, right? So like after Tom Brady and his wife, you know, there was like rumors about them.
A tear. That's what we gonna call it, all right? Carry on. Motherfucker's having a mental breakdown. Said a tear. Oh shit.
Speaking of mental breakdowns. No, man, but he so he had posted a picture with him and Giselle. So Tom Brady's wife, right? And then he posts a picture on his Twitter account of a book. And the book title was Daddy Doesn't Live Here Anymore. A book about divorce. And the best part about it was the cat, like it looks like a fucking children's book, and I'm sure he probably got it from somewhere.
I think it's from an actual book.
Yes.
Yeah.
But did you see his face in the window?
Yeah, it's him in the window.
It's him in the window.
And then Tom Brady is the dad leaving. It's funny as shit, bro. His troll game been on. He got nothing but time because he ain't never playing in the NFL.
I told you, man, been on the tear.
Oh. He's sure it has, bro. That shit made me laugh so hard, bro. When I saw it, I'm like, oh.
What happened in Dubai?
Oh, did you see the video? So the video came out.
No.
He was at his pool in his hotel in Dubai, and I don't know if the woman was saying something, but they're talking shit. But he pulls his dick out in the middle of the pool, and he starts wilding out. And
he's like dancing?
Shit. No, bro. He's like just pulling it out and starts like humping the air and shit, and just like talking mad. Bro, he gets crazy, starts yelling crazy shit at the woman. And I go, if that's in America, he's probably getting arrested right now.
Oh, yeah,
for like
absolutely.
indecent exposure or whatever. But I think the fact that it's there, he kind of lucks out.
Oh, yeah, because they're like second-class citizens.
Yeah, I think if he goes back, he's probably fucked. So, I mean, just avoid Dubai. But, like, yeah, dude, he had his old dick out in this video. And I think the sad part about this, and it speaks to why Antonio Brown is where he is, bro. Obviously, there's something wrong with him mentally, but you can hear his boys in the background egging him on. And I go, you've also
He's around the wrong people,
yourself.
bro.
Yep, you've surrounded yourself with people who ain't shit and who are there to ride the Antonio Brown, money. And,
for as long as that lasts.
For as long as that lasts, bro. When you're broke and you're down on your thing in a year from now or whatever, however long that takes for Antonio Brown to get there, them dudes are all gonna be gone, and they're partly to blame because I go, they don't care about you, bro. They're sitting out there egging you on, man, doing some wild shit like that. I can't imagine me whipping my dick out in Dubai and you going, yeah, Juan.
Do it again.
Do it again. You probably be like, yo, why your dick out? At a minimum. You would at least ask the question.
Be like, do you know that we can see your penis right now, bro? Put that shit away.
Be like, bro, you're on a tear here. Your dick's out.
Did you mean to do that?
Did you mean to do that? Oh, bro. Like, yeah, I go, man, you can hear those boys in the video just kind of, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's why you ain't shit, bro. Like, you're not shit, and then you're surrounding yourself with yes men who also ain't shit and who clearly don't care about you. Kind of sad, bro. I go, one of the, I mean, it's like Taylor's oldest time, right? Like, such a phenomenal, transcendent talent. Could have been in the record books in the NFL as one of the greatest wide receivers to ever play the game. And I go, dude, if T.O. didn't get into the Hall of Fame and all that stuff with his shit, like Antonio Brown has
no chance.
Because
I didn't think about that, bro.
Had
That's
off
true.
the field incidences, but nothing near what Antonio Brown did, man. T.O.'s doing push-ups in his driveway or whatever. He's doing like, I go, man, Antonio Brown's got no shot. But then you go, what a waste of potential, man. And I hate to see people just squander away just a lifetime, generational money. He squandered away generational money.
Yeah.
And clearly, I always hate to use the mental illness excuse, but there's got to be some kind of mental illness here, man. Or some people just ain't shit, bro. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say,
and I think sometimes we got to accept that.
Yeah.
Like some people just ain't shit.
Everybody ain't mentally ill, man.
Yeah.
Some people are just
just fucked up. Yeah. We're all a little mentally
ill. You ever
ill,
know
right?
that when you grow up with somebody and you like, oh yeah, so-and-so just be doing some crazy shit for no reason.
Yep. And they're okay. That's some Jeffrey Dahmer shit, right? Like you just be wondering, like,
have you seen this fucking thing,
bro? I've seen the documentary trending and stuff everywhere, and I'm like, how the fuck Jeffrey Dahmer get popular again,
dude? So like my entire family wanted to watch it, right?
I'm glad.
And so we start watching it. I think I'm only up to like episode 3 out of 10 episodes. But what I will say about that is, it's not like every episode that I watch. And because I've never suffered from like any type of mental illness that I'm aware of.
And he's diagnosed with like 3, and they still let him stand for trial, right? Like he's diagnosed.
We're not there. I'm not there yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm not there yet, but it's watching the things unfold and the way that it kind of starts. And I won't give away too much, but it kind of starts with how he gets caught. Like the first episode explains how he gets caught, goes through that scenario, and then from episode 2 forward, it's kind of like how his childhood was, and so it flashes between childhood and teenage years, and you see the things that he's going through at home. You see the things that happen even prior to birth. And then the issues between his parents, and then him going through school kind of being awkward, and all that kind of shit. And so you kind of gain this understanding of like, wow, man, this dude like never had a chance.
Okay.
But I will say this, like, I don't like watching more than one episode of that, because after every episode, I don't want to say I'm sad, but I'm like, I don't feel good. Like I don't feel like, oh, can't wait for next episode.
See, I feel like that's one of those things where I will watch because I have a weird obsession with serial killers.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. I'm fascinated by the thought process that someone, like, first of all, the high IQ. Like, you have to have such a high IQ to get away with something like that, right? Like, mental illness aside, to get away with being a serial killer, get away with, killing 17 people, whatever he does, and then for that long. And
yeah, but there's things that occurred in his childhood that helped.
Sure, but I go.
So it's not. So it wasn't. It was almost like there was things that he was doing to the human bodies that he was doing as a kid, like to animals, and not anything cruel. And I won't say it again.
So, but dude, he's the GOAT of this guy's the LeBron James of serial killers. Like he's the like. And I'm gonna tell you why.
He didn't last that long.
Listen, man, he's the MJ of serial killers. Don't disrespect Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm gonna tell you why. Ted Bundy mostly killed women, right? Charles Manson, overrated. He never really killed people, but it was mostly he influenced.
He had people right,
to kill people.
Right.
Zodiac killer, right? I think they mostly women. Who's a Son of Sam guy? I think mostly women did stuff. And then I'm not giving credit to anybody who uses a gun. Like that shit's easy. You step away, kill. Getting away with it is a little hard. But Jeffrey Dahmer was killing grown men, some boys. I get in a fucking apartment. In where was it? Indianapolis or Minnesota, wherever it is.
No, I think it was wasn't it? No. Oh, Milwaukee.
You're right. Wisconsin. So you pull people into an apartment, a man, and you pull off with 20 of these. They think it's in the 30s or whatever, body count, whatever.
Yeah, but the whole
17 of them, bro.
The whole thing of getting them to his apartment was that he was gay.
Yeah, but
so he would go to these bars and then just kind of like hook up and then bring dudes back to the house. And then get stupid.
And then they would think they're about to fuck or whatever, and then he would off them or whatever. But bro, to kill grown men in an apartment, and get away with it, like you know how fucking stealthy you gotta be to kill a bunch of grown men.
But the other shit that you find out is that so he ends up living in an area in Milwaukee that was like known as this drug infested poor black neighborhood. So
like noise and all that
nobody
shit
gives
common,
up. Right. So like where the folks that live there would call the cops. Cops sometimes would come. He's the only white guy there, and for lack of a better term, he kind of gets a little preferential treatment, or at least that's the way it's portrayed.
Yeah.
And then there are things that occur where like the cops are just like they just want to get out of there. They just kind of try to resolve things quickly and just get out.
Dude, because like Bundy, you go charismatic, good looking guy.
Yeah.
Walks up to a woman, talks to her. Get in my car. Okay, cool. Blah blah blah. Like I could see that.
I'm pretty sure that dude lived in like a nice part of Manhattan.
Who? Ted
Bundy?
Yeah, one of those guys. No, it was the Son of Sam guy.
No. Ted Bundy. Because I want to think there was some.
No, was Ted Bundy Seattle?
Was he?
I can't remember.
I don't know.
You might be right. But yeah, it doesn't matter.
Wrong.
But anyway, like, my fascination with serial killers is always like, there's this interest that I have in like what makes someone snap like that, what makes someone think like that. They're high IQ, so what makes your IQ go? And you know, like someone who could, if you put that kind of effort into anything else, you'd be a quote unquote successful human being, right? And I guess he is at serial killing, right? Like you'd go, all right, he's successful at that, like. But I've always just been, so I read a lot of books and I watch a lot of documentaries and I'll read like Wikipedias of all these serial killers like all the time, because I'm like, there's something about that's always fascinated me that goes like, what drives someone to do that kind of shit? And then what, I don't know, man, it like humans are fucked up, but what drives you? Like what makes you capable of doing something like that? Not once, but just over and over, and it's a turn on for some of them, right? Like it's a fetish. It's all these things.
That kind of becomes part of it for him. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, it's really interesting to go through and see like his childhood. And again, I'm only in episode 3, but to see how he's becoming this guy. And
I think I might watch that one.
Definitely worth watching. But for me, like after I watch one, and then I'm just like, yo, like put on a comedy. Like I don't want to.
It's too dark.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like you just, I don't walk away from there, feeling good, which I'm not. I don't think that's what it's for. But I also don't walk away from there going, ooh, can't wait to episode 4.
Dude, it's interesting.
But it is well done. So don't get me wrong.
So it's a well done show.
Absolutely,
and I like the kid
bro.
that plays
well
him.
done. Oh, dude, that dude was on
American Horror Story.
Yes, and he played that freaking psycho on there too, bro. And he's
I love him as
perfect
an actor, man.
Yeah, he's a perfect character.
He plays these weird, creepy characters, like you said, in a really, he's believable, creepy way.
So believable.
It makes
bro.
you uncomfortable, which is the point of it.
Yep.
Dude, it's funny, man. You were talking about his childhood. Every book I've read about a serial killer, Manson included, they talk about all of them have had shitty childhoods. Every single one that I can remember. I'm trying to think of anyone off the top of my head. I think the only one that seemingly came across normal might be Ted Bundy. But Ted Bundy, I don't know a lot about his childhood, but he might have had a fucked up childhood. But as an adult, he came off as a very successful, suave, charismatic guy. Like, but all these guys had these weird childhoods, and it's funny, and they were all sort of diagnosed. Either I saw he had like bipolar, multiple personality. They Dahmer has like 3 or 4. Because I know the big controversy when they charged him was that he had like 3 or 4 mental diagnoses like that, like mental illness diagnosis. Sorry, and they said he was still sort of competent to stand trial. And I remember one of the arguments was, how could you have all these and not be able to get away with the sort of insanity plea or whatever? It was hilarious. He was murdered in prison. Like Jeffrey Dahmer was ultimately beat to death, right, by another inmate.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Somebody said because he was talking shit, because he was mocking people and stuff like that. Supposedly, that's what the guy said. Is like, yo, he would mock us all the time. He would shape his food into like body parts and stuff like that. Which I go, yo, that sounds so fucked up. That's why he had to go. And you mocking prisoners like that, you don't give a shit, bro. And then somebody took it to their own hands.
So then you will love it. It is a well done series. As like I said, it just for me, I was just like, man, I don't walk away from there like feeling good, nor do I walk away from there going, I can't wait for next episode.
See, I think I'll definitely
you binge watch it.
I don't know about binge, but I'll definitely catch an episode and I'll see where it goes, and then I'll watch from there. But like like I said, I have this weird fascination with those guys because like there's just something about them that's like, I don't know, man. It's just, it intrigues me that like the human mind, how it works, man. How like genius, I'm gonna call it that. I know that I'm probably gonna get shit for that, but like genius works on so many levels in a good or a bad way. Again, to get away with, and I'd be curious to see today, man. There's a serial killer out there maybe that we don't know about, but is it hard? It's obviously harder to get away with it today. But at any point in time, man, get away with serial killing, it's such a difficult, like, you have to be so manipulative, right? Not only to get victims, but to sort of cover your tracks over time. Like, that's just, and I think that's what's fascinated me. It's like, what makes you that cold-hearted, that sort of detached from humans, that sort of like, or are you? Like, and I think that's what it is like, I don't understand it. And so it just fascinates me.
This one will fascinate you,
cool,
absolutely,
man.
Bro. Dude, let me tell you who didn't get away with murder. Do you hear about this woman, bro? She goes and she plays like a pickup basketball game against this dude.
Okay.
She beats him.
A pickup basketball. Okay.
In a pickup basketball game. Dude comes back with a gun, kills her.
He kills her.
He kills her. What kind of embarrassment do you gotta feel to go like, fuck this bitch?
Yo, prisons in Russia are crazy. They let you bring guns.
That one was planted. so they can put the story. She died in prison.
Bro, yeah, what kind of,
dude,
kill her?
Killed her, bro.
Damn, so no beef.
And they like knew each other. Like not like friends, but they knew of each other.
Yeah, like they knew of each other. Yeah. I get killing yourself after that. But but you gonna kill her? Wow, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, crazy, bro.
People are wild, bro. I don't know, dude. I saw this. Murderers have been on a rampage lately, bro. And I saw this with this one chick. She killed her sister.
Oh, man, that's dark, bro.
But why she killed her sister, I don't know, man. So she killed her sister because she was flirting with her boyfriend on Valorant, which Valorant's a very popular PC game. So so she plays Valorant. Her boyfriend plays Valorant. I guess online while they were talking and playing, and her character, she was flirting with him on there. So she went and killed her in real life.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Mm-hmm. Bro, how much you gotta like somebody to be that angry about somebody, even if somebody took your significant other, like, bro, the level of anger that you have to be to do something like that,
kill your sister,
to kill your yeah, right, to kill your sibling. I mean, to kill anybody, but then to turn around and kill your sibling, man, that's
over it, dude. Listen, man, and she wasn't the only one this week. I saw you saw the chick on Tinder. She met this man on Tinder.
Okay.
They do their thing. She stabs him. He ends up surviving, but she stabs him and then orders DoorDash, like food. And the food comes to the place where she stabbed him.
Leave it at the door.
She gave no fucks. That's a serial killer in the making.
No,
but she wasn't smart enough to get away with the rest of it. But, dude, stabs him and then orders food. I get that, bro. You build an appetite. Depending on how many stabs you get in, like, that shit takes a lot out of
you. Dude, speaking of dead people, you seen that dude that's urinating on his ex-wife's grave?
I did.
Did you see that story?
This is the pettiest motherfucker alive. I love this story. Oh my god, bro.
I don't even think I had any notes on that shit, man. I remember reading the article.
What's his name? I think I have it.
Do you?
I think I have the name of the guy and all that stuff.
Oh, man. Good. So for those of you not seeing this guy was married to a woman, got divorced like a long time ago, and I mean like decades ago.
Bro, yeah, 3 or 4 decades ago.
And come to find out, was it the kids coming to see the mom at the grave and then catching the ex-husband urinating on the grave?
Yeah. So somebody,
right, what it was?
Yeah. So they kept seeing it, and this man is 68 years old. It's in a town called Orangetown, and he
that here in the U.S.
Yeah, and he was caught. So somebody caught him, and then they set up a camera, and or I think it's surveillance nearby. But every single day, he took a walk with his wife, his current wife, and would go by the cemetery, and he would take a piss on her grave.
Wow,
a woman he's divorced, I think.
What does it say?
Since the 80s. I want to get you the exact date, but he's been divorced for decades.
Yeah,
you know how
minimum 30 years.
Oh yeah, bro.
Minimum.
It's been a long time, dude. I gotta pull it up because it has been
what kind of relationship was that you are still mad?
Yo.
And then doing the ritual, right? Like, because she didn't die right away, so she had to have passed, and then he finds out where her gravesite is.
Oh yeah, bro. Or
and then you just still mad about it.
When did she die? Because that would also
that's good. I don't know,
dude. Wow, fuck! I gotta find. Man, I'm just gonna look at a man peas, dude. It's so crazy the amount of years that.
What are you looking for?
I want to see his name, and I want to see how long. Yeah, you probably gonna be quicker than me. I thought I had it saved. Okay, so ex-wife grave. So
Andrew,
48-year grudge.
Michael Andrew Murphy.
Yep.
Yeah, now he's on blast.
Michael Andrew Murphy, 48-year grudge. He felt like getting out and killing him. Michael Andrew Murphy, 43, told the Post of what it was like to catch the man he said has been desecrating the burial site of his mom, Linda Torello. So Michael Andrew Murphy is the son.
It's the son. And he caught Dean Eckner?
Torello, the woman, Torello, 66, died in 2017 of cancer.
So 5 years ago.
And this is in Orangetown, New York. And Murphy and his sister first noticed a plastic bag of poop at their mother's grave in April and thought it was something left by mistake by a dog walker.
Dog walker, yeah.
But then it happened again. So the dude was leaving shit too. So
I mean, that's fucked up, bro. But just like, what kind of grudge? Like, what happened?
Dude, so they left. They said they started finding, and they asked the cemetery for permission to leave trail cameras. You know those trail cameras they use to catch animals? So they left the trail camera, and then they spotted the dude. He was married to her in the 1970s, and they got up at like 5 a.m., and they sat there and waited, and they even caught him on a cell phone camera. And Murphy said the video and pictures that him and his sister got indicated that a man drove to the cemetery almost every morning between 6:14 and 6:18 a.m. with his current wife, got out of the car, walked to the grave, and pissed on it. Bro, what are you telling your current wife? And good for you for locking that down, because who the fuck you gotta tell to be like, hey man, by the way, if you're gonna be with me every day at 6:15, we pissing on my ex-wife's grave.
And you figure if it's his wife, like, it hasn't been his wife for that long.
For 48 years, it hasn't been his wife, bro.
No. I'm saying the current one.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like, at what point, at what point do you agree to that? Is he telling this woman something that happened that was so bad that he goes, I'm glad this bitch is dead, and I'm gonna go piss on her grave every day until I die?
You know what kind of commitment you gotta have to get up at like 5 something in the morning to go piss on someone's grave,
Dude,
bro?
People don't go to work every day.
Yeah, listen, that is, I guess he's retired. He needed something to do. I don't know, man. Were the flowers growing a little? Were they blooming a little brighter around her? The ones left on the site, though?
Nah, she was dying.
Yo,
bro.
what you said? What could you possibly do that would make someone that angry at you, that bitter?
I mean, you talk about people that, like, people that cheat or
I don't know, bro. You get cheated on. You going back 48 years later,
bro,
piss on a grave?
No,
bro?
but man, somebody might be real mad about that shit, bro.
I guess, but like,
yeah, no, not me, but
I'm also not a grudge holder, so it's hard for me to understand these kind of things because I'm just kind of like, I just move on. Like,
yeah, I can't think of anything that would, like, unless she killed your child. You know what I mean? Like, maybe something like that.
yeah.
Right? If you go, like, if it was something that drastic to where, like, she killed your kid or something like that.
Yeah, but just off her at some point in time and like piss on the grave. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, all right.
Nah. Fuck him.
I'll never get it, but fuck him. That shit was hilarious. When I saw that, I go, yo, the award for the pettiest human being to ever live has to be that guy, right? Has to be.
No, man, it's Kanye.
Ooh.
Bro, you know what? Last week you asked me, what's Kanye going to be remembered for? Like, was it going to be music or fashion?
Yeah.
This past week, for those of you who not seen it, and if you're even a little bit of a Kanye fan, you got to go watch this. Tucker Carlson on Fox News had an hour special, and it was just an interview with him, with Kanye West.
Okay.
And so I won't go into the details of it, but the answers that he was giving to Tucker Carlson, for me, were confusing. Like, I would forget what the question was.
So like one of those run around.
He would just start talking.
He did that shit on Joe Rogan. Remember, he was just talking and talking and talking, and by the end of it,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. And Joe Rogan
But
was
Joe
like,
just let him talk.
I agree. And
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah,
with
yeah.
what? He was like talking about starting his own country and shit. And you're like, what?
So it was a lot of that. So I think that, and then, he would say stuff like, one of the things he said was that he's gonna be president. Like he just kind of like in passing was just like, yeah, like one day, like I'm gonna be president.
No, you're not, bro.
No, I don't think so either. But I think that I'll remember him
Not
for
in this
his
country.
for his antics.
Yeah. It's gonna be everything but the music at this point in time. And he had great commitments to fashion, great commitments to music, obviously.
Yeah,
And we're gonna remember the.
But I think that'll be it. I think that'll be that, right? It'll be the off the wall shit that he says, or the getting on stage when Taylor Swift wins the award, and you know what I mean. Like, it'll be the antics that I think I will.
I don't
him
think
for.
of a song first, which is sad because like I don't think of a song, I don't think of a piece of clothing or a shoe or whatever. I think of the antics.
Dude, you know what, man? And I think in the interview reminded me of it, man. I go, do you know that? Remember that song where it's like, nah, 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 wait till I get
I
my
love that
money,
song,
right?
That
Yeah,
should be my anthem.
but he's like, he follows that with, then you can't tell me nothing, right?
Oh, here
and
it
I'm
goes.
like, that's where he's at now,
That's
bro.
where he's at.
He
He's
got
so
his
true,
his
bro.
money right, and now he's like, fuck everybody. Like, I'm gonna do the most off the wall shit. I'm gonna do my clothing line. I'm gonna do my music. I'm gonna say shit that people think is nuts, and it's all part of my master plan.
It's
essentially
funny because the premise of that song is like he's gonna be reckless with money, but he's just being reckless in life at this point in time. Like you said, like you're not gonna be able to tell me shit. Like,
Right.
I'm gonna do what I want, when I want, how I want. Like, fuck, I never thought about that.
Right?
Man. That's one of my favorite songs of his, man. Like, I kill that song. To this day, I play that song a lot.
that song is dope.
Wow, man. Yeah, I never thought about that, man. That's a great point. at all. Like, I think, you know, first off, I'm going, okay, when's the new album dropping or whatever you're dropping next? Like, that's what's coming. Like, whenever Kanye does this, he follows.
I didn't think about that.
Some major announcement. I'm like, okay, so wait for Donda 3 or whatever the fuck he's gonna announce soon, or Shoe or whatever. So I'm like, all right, that's coming. And then I'm just tired of giving him a platform for things that don't matter anymore, like for those rants, for those things. I go like, can it be about the art? Like, I don't mind when Kanye's on the news because he drops a sick shoe or an ugly shoe. I don't even care if it's ugly. Like, just be in the news for something productive.
No one else does either.
Yeah, it's still just buy him. Bizarre, bro. Like, he just, I don't know. Like, we talking about this, like, it was the last week or the week before, where I go like, I'm kind of over even talking about him at this point in time, because I go, dude, the currency now is attention. And that's all he's kind of looking for now. Like, I think it's so disingenuous. I even think it's disingenuous now. Like, I'm not disputing whether or not he has a mental illness. Maybe he does. But, you know, what we were saying before, some people are just assholes, bro.
Yep.
And, like, we need to accept that they're just assholes. And I think Kanye's just an asshole. Like, at this point, I'm like, he's just an asshole. And he's been empowered because he's talented and he gets away. And so, like, and we sort of let it fly.
And because he's, I mean, the guy's let's call it what it is, right? The guy's a billionaire and he has a lot of influence at this point.
Absolutely. He has a lot of influence in music and in fashion and pop culture in general, right? Like,
did you see he got his I think his Twitter account got banned because he said some anti-Semitic shit.
Yeah, which is the one group on earth you can't fuck with.
Yeah,
you could say shit about black people. You could say shit about women, children. You mess with the Jews, they control the earth. Like, Jay-Z was almost banned because he complimented them on a song. Remember when Jay-Z's like, you know what? You want to know how the Jews own all the property in America? And then he's like talking in his song, and they wanted to ban Jay-Z. I'm like, he's fucking complimenting them, and they're like, nah. Like, it's the one group.
We don't own everything.
Yeah, we don't own everything. We don't own your house, Jay.
That's anti-Semitic.
That's anti-Semitic. Like, that's the one group you can't fuck with. I also think, dude, I saw his rant, and the reason I don't like the anti-Semitic rant is because Kanye West has known that the Jewish community, or the vast majority of music labels, you know, some fashion labels, certainly media in general, TV, movies, whatever, is run by I don't want to say Jewish people, but they're run by Jewish, you know, heads of whatever, like studios and whatever, like they're, and so when it served him, he was okay with that. Right, when those Jewish people were his allies and they sort of helped him get his sort of build his brand and do that, Kanye was on board. Like, I lump him in with the same people that I lump in the Me Too chicks who were sleeping with directors to get roles, and suddenly now they're 45 and no one wants to sleep with them, and they're pissed off and they're like, well, I had to sleep for all these roles. It's like, for how long? When I was 25 to 38, they made me sleep with them for these roles. And it's like, well, did you do it? Well, yeah. It's like, okay, so what?
That's your prime age.
That's your prime age. So now that you've aged out of the system, you're pissed off. Like, I think I can take him serious about the anti-Semitic thing and, like, going off. Like, first of all, it's anti-Semitic. It's fucked up. But also, like, Kanye's been known that's the game you play. Everyone in Hollywood knows you play that game, right? With the Jewish community. It's like, yeah, they run everything there. So you have to be on their good side. And now that he's a billionaire and he has his own influences, his own power, and his own stuff, he's no longer okay with the Jewish community sort of running. Like, it's like, dude, you can't sit here and play the game when it serves you and then knock it when it doesn't, right? Like,
yeah, I
don't know.
That's true, man. But I think that at one point, right, he had to use them. He had to use those companies and like, remember, like on the Sway Calloway show, right? Yep. Right, he's saying that exactly, where it's like, yo, you don't got the answer, Sway.
You ain't,
right? It's like, you got to be in with these corporations, and then now he's not there. Now he's at a place where he can do his own shit.
And I just don't even think he's serious. I just don't take him serious. I think he's going for what's the biggest clickbait, what's the biggest headline, who could I talk shit about that's gonna sort of perk ears up. Like, I think he's just grasping at straws, you know, because he starts with the, you know, he's fucking with Diddy and whoever online, he's fucking with the Jews, he's fucking with, like, I just think at this point in time he just wants attention. He doesn't care where he gets it. The sad part about this, man, and listen, I don't care where you stand on the Kardashians, but I saw a story this week that Kim Kardashian said she had to up security around her kids at her kids' school. She's basically paying. And again, people aren't going to feel bad because they get death threats and they get scrutiny and they get people like her and her kids feel it when Kanye goes off. So she's had to, like, and I know, again, people aren't going to have sympathy for Kim Kardashian, but they're like, oh, she's rich. But she's like, yo, now I got to pay for more security, stuff at the school, at the house, at the whatever, because he's going off on these tangents. So now it affects us, which I go, you know, it's a selfish thing for a guy who's always crying about, like, his kids and all that stuff too. Like, you have to understand the power that you have.
Right.
And that there's a lot of people out there that aren't all there, like that, and they just look for an opportunity to cause harm.
You think that he understands how much influence that he has, or
he gloats about how much influence he has,
at some
right?
level,
Yeah.
right? So that he knows that. I wonder if he's just not either thinking or not looking.
I just think he's so self-absorbed that he doesn't care. I think he's so self-centered, so narcissistic, so self-absorbed that I don't think he realizes the impact that his because again, you chose to be in a private eye, right? And so unfortunately your kids' lives are impacted by that, but you don't have to make that harder than it needs to be. So I think that's part of that. Dude, something that made me really sad in the last week or two, I don't know if you saw this, but the downfall of America, man. We're slipping across the board. Like
on what?
Bro, did you see the thing that happened this weekend at the daycare in Thailand?
No.
The mass shooting?
Yeah. Yes.
Dude, this guy took out 36 kids in a mass shooting in Thailand. That used to be our thing. And
you ain't right, bro.
And now we don't even if we're not good at that, where the fuck do we go as a country?
If we can't ruin the mass shootings.
If we can't ruin mass shootings, the only thing we have going for us, I think it's the only thing we lead the world in is military spend and mass shootings. And now that's gone away. So the only thing is military spend. I'm like...
Yeah, this dude killed kids and adults, right?
Dude, yeah. And he killed 37. And I think one kid that survived was napping under a blanket, coincidentally. Just happened to be under, and he missed... You didn't see him.
Yeah.
So, or her. I can't remember what it was. But it's the only reason. But other than that, man, I mean, tragic, obviously, for these parents. But he went in a daycare and just did that. But I was like, fuck, man. I used to read that headline and go, "We're in America."
Yeah,
and when that shit said Thailand, I was like, fuck me.
See, man, I was going like, woo, good. It wasn't here.
See, I was disappointed in us.
Dude, kill the rest of that, bro.
You're not gonna do no more?
I got it. I still got some.
Oh, you still got some?
Yeah. How you doing on time?
Listen, we're an hour 5 in, hour 6 actually. So, what you got left, man? You want to touch on this week?
I don't know, man. Let's end with something funny, man. You got anything funny?
You got anything funny? I think I might have some funny shit. Let me see. Or I have something that maybe is not supposed to be funny that we could fuck with.
I got on here. I got Mythbusters. I don't know what that is.
Nah, it's not gonna be funny.
All right, so then leave that alone.
Okay, I guess this could be semi-funny, bro. Yo, this inmate. You saw this inmate dude, bro? Shout out to this guy, bro. So. It's a Georgia inmate. He was impersonating this California billionaire named Sidney Kimmel. I've never heard of him, but good for Sidney.
Hold on, so he's an inmate impersonating a billionaire. Okay.
Yeah. He's impersonating. So his name is Cofield. I'm trying to think of what his first name. Arthur Lee Cofield. Okay. He's a 31-year-old gang member. He's been in prison for serving 14 years for armed robbery.
Okay.
So
since.
He's been in prison since. It does not say. It just says he's currently serving a 14-year sentence for armed robbery.
Okay.
In Georgia. So he somehow he's been sort of smuggling in cell phones and things like that into the prison, and he's been impersonating Sidney Kimmel, who's a billionaire from California.
Okay.
So he opened a bank account in his name, and then he allegedly then figured out a way to get into his Charles Schwab account.
Get the fuck
and he arranged a transfer of $11 million from Kimmel's Schwab account into the bank account that he opened, and then purchased a 6,106 American Eagle 1-ounce gold coins, which is weird as fuck. Like, why would you go that route? But purchases the gold coins, cashes that in, and then some funds were used to buy a $4.4 million house. All of this from prison.
Get the fuck.
Give this guy a fucking job anywhere, bro. You know how...
Bro, we complain out here.
Bro, you know how many broke people out here with all of it? We not trying, bro. Homie in prison done photoshopped, done identity fraud, done like fucking engineering. He's got the whole nine, man.
Took the money, dude. Bought the gold,
bought a house, got the gold that you cashed in, did the whole nine from a cell phone in prison, bro.
Get out of here, bro.
In what I presume to be maybe not maximum security, but he ain't exactly in Martha Stewart prison. So to pull that off,
he's a gangbanger, right?
Oh, shout out to this guy, bro.
I immediately feel worse about myself.
Yo, his family. This again, man. This is the theme of the show, bro. Karma for play. You making an impact. His family used to be like, this motherfucker, bro. He's in jail for armed robbery. Whenever anybody mentions it, they're gonna be like, yo, remember this time this guy stole $11 million from jail? Like, bro.
That guy's gonna be a legend.
This guy's gonna be a legend, bro. A legend, bro. Cofield's gonna be, yeah, man. That's the guy that stole $11 million from prison using a cell phone. Fucking A, bro. Y'all not trying hard enough. Get y'all shit together.
Why can't you be like Jimmy in prison?
Why can't you be like Jimmy? You see the initiative that Jimmy showed in prison, bro? Fuck it, bro. If that's
you
not,
can't pass a math test.
If that's not gangster ingenuity, if I ever seen it, bro, ain't nobody, dude. None of y'all got excuses. Get y'all shit together, bro.
Yo, on that, tell them where they can find us.
Listen, first off, you're on YouTube. I should have did this at the beginning, but hit like, hit subscribe. Shout out, thanks for the support. I don't know what's happened with YouTube lately, but it's taken off, so we appreciate it. And then all your favorite streaming platforms, man. Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, all the major, Geo7, Ghana, Podchaser, they're all there. Make sure you leave a review. If you're not following us on IG, at the Carbon Football Podcast, TikTok, the Carbon Football Podcast, Facebook, the Carbon Football Podcast, just follow us on there, comment, like, do everything, man. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. Give us ideas for drinks still, man. We're always looking for those. And shout out to you guys for the support.
Y'all been holding out. Instead, the majority of you are takers. Oh, y'all taking the recipes.
I love it though. When we get the y'all trying to drink,
dope. Yeah.
And I love the pictures. Yo, shout out. I know you have a lot of family that'll send pictures of the drinks they make and all that. So shout out to you guys, man. I definitely appreciate that. It's always wild to me when you send me something, you know, whether it's family or whether they tag us on something.
Oh yeah,
and again, man, I don't care if it's a stranger, if it's family, if it's a friend, or whatever. Like, and they go like, "Oh, made the drink." The fact that I know you listened is crazy to me because I just talk into this shit and assume it just goes into the ether. So
it does. And yo, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I was reading something this week on Mark Manson, and he talked about sympathy versus compassion. And he was like, sympathy is like, you know, when you feel bad for somebody and you want to take them out of a situation. It could be even like one of your kids, right? Where your kid is, I don't know, he did something wrong, and you want to, you know, you say you're going to punish him, but you feel bad, so then you don't punish him. And then he said, and in contrast, compassion is still feeling that same way, but letting them learn that lesson. Letting them take that punishment, letting them take that L, so that, because the compassionate part of you is, I understand where you are, and I'm going to do something so that you're better off later.
Love
so
that, man.
The lesson is, have compassion, not sympathy.
Yeah, thank you, man.
And on that,
dude,
we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.